don't know how much you can hear because it's windy, but I trusted Arty for all of 5 seconds while I put a rug at the back of his stable, ready to take him for a hack, and he went for it. He took his moment, and he went out that door, and I didn't have the yard gate shut, and yep, made it all the way down the field, right to the furthest point. Great. I suppose at least it adds more steps to my day, a few more calories burnt. Yeah, he's been out all day as well, so it's not like he needs food. He can't help himself. Really handy. Just what I needed. I wanted to get on and ride. Instead I'm chasing after a big fat ginger horse. I am doing a voiceover because, as always, it was too windy when I was videoing this little clip out hacking, and you can't hear me, so a voiceover it is. Now, you will have seen from the thumbnail on this video that Arty is having his suspensory scanned today because sadly he isn't 100% sound again. It's nothing new because this horse has had more time off than anything in life. He has done very little in about the 5 or 6 years that I've owned him, because most of that has been with him being off. So he sort of back in, pretty much you'll have noticed he's not been in the videos for a while, and that's because he started showing signs of not being level behind again. He's had this issue before. The vet thinks it's his suspensories niggling him. He never gets hopping lame or anything like that, but he's just not 100%. If you were to trot him up in a straight line on the road, you probably wouldn't see anything. But when he's on a circle in the arena, he hasn't looked quite right. And she saw him recently because she's also a chiropractor, my vet. And when she sort of released him and loosened him up, he was a little bit lamer. So he'd obviously been holding himself a little bit. Over the years, we've had issues with his tendon sheaths and with his sacroiliac in his back, because I don't know whether it's down to his conformation. It's certainly not down for him doing a lot because his horse has done very little in life. But he has had a few issues, and this kind of lameness does seem to raise its head every now and then, without him actually having to do a lot. Quite often being turned out in the field seems to bring it on again. Normally in winter, when he's in full time, he tends to be a little bit better, which is why you would have seen that I did do a little bit of jumping with him in the winter. But as soon as he's back on turnout, it seems to rear its head again. This is probably a long-term diagnosis for him, that he is going to have low-grade lameness. I don't think this is about to go anywhere now, but I'm really intrigued to get the vet to scan those suspensories and see if it is coming from them at the moment. She thinks it is. She's a pretty amazing vet, so I expect she's bang on the money. I don't think they're going to be awful by any means because he doesn't have a fat leg. He's not hopping lame, but it would be interesting to just have a look. It, like I say, doesn't change the end result. We know he's always going to probably have low-grade lameness now, and I'm going to have to seriously think about finding him a home where he just does quiet hacking. This is not a horse that can be just a companion. He needs a job, and he is not lame enough to warrant not having a job. And he has such an amazing character, and he's such a funny horse that, you know, he deserves some one-on-one attention. He does get a lot of attention from me because I'm not going to lie, he's my favourite, but he would like to hack more, and sadly the other 2 horses on my yard end up getting priority because they both compete. So yeah, it's really, I'm just having a look to see exactly how bad his suspensories are, but I'm not expecting to see anything major. It's more of an interest thing. So hopefully the next clip will be the vet here, and we'll have a look, and fingers crossed it isn't anything too awful, because I don't want to have to make any other decisions than finding him a nice hack home. So everyone keep your fingers crossed. So to start with, obviously the vet clipped his hind legs, gave them a really good scrub, and then covered them in a lot of gel so that when she got the probe with the scanner, she would get a good picture. He had to have a little bit of sedation because he was quite fidgety and not always being that helpful. Obviously, she took a lot of images, different angles, measured lots of things, but I'll get straight to the point. It wasn't the best news in the world. He has suspensory disease. I will put the proper name of it on the screen now. Yeah, it's not great. He's not chronic by any means. He's not super lame or anything like that, but obviously, long term, he's never going to be a competition horse. You're not gonna ever jump him or school him. The vet said that he'd be perfectly fine for hacking, but that would be it. So it's really disappointing. It's not a total shock because obviously we've had some issues with him over the years, and yeah, it wasn't like I wasn't expecting to see something, but maybe I didn't realize that they were going to look as bad as they did. You know, the suspensories were quite jagged, a little bit of fluid around them. That, you know, they didn't look brilliant. So really disappointing news. Now I need to try and work out how best to give Arty a life that he can enjoy. So Arty is very much competition minded. He doesn't appreciate not doing a lot in life. He likes a job, he likes working hard, and I have to see if hacking is enough for him, if hacking will keep him sweet enough, because otherwise he gets quite cross with the world if he's not a busy boy, and just turning him out in the field is not an option for arts. He would not be happy with that. So a little bit of planning and thinking, but he'll definitely be still around, probably driving me nuts.